Maybe have a chat about your interpretation of the word soft skill and your interpretation of the word hard skill. A little Venn diagram. Cool, it's we call this model safety, fun, achievement. I'm sure you guys have heard of something quite similar. Maybe the achievement part is something else, but so if we go S, F, A, we also have this little sweet spot in the middle here that we call stoke. So, hey, when you guys were doing those ollies,
it was fun.
Yeah. You reckon? So with that being said, now we're going to partner up. Just partner up with someone close to you. Okay. One person's going to lead, the other person's going to follow. All right, the person leading, you've got to mix up that ollie. You've got to put as many variations in as you feel comfortable so we can get more towards this fun and more towards this achievement side.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So ollies, nollies, switch ollies, taps, any variations you can.
Rotations also?
Maybe, yeah, if you want to include it. Person behind, you just got to follow and copy. Hey, if you were following on that run, where would you say you moved to in this safety fun achievement?
We call this cat and mouse.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, however you set it up,
yeah.
It's about balancing these three, right? So we've got a hard skill, or an example of a hard skill, is an ollie. We've got a soft skill, which is how we use safety fun achievement. In our system, the way we bridge the gap between these two is, as trainers, we make sure we use this model, this safety fun achievement model, on every single task. Hey, we're going to jump into the park in a moment. We're going to get into some level 2 content. Experiential learning for us?
It was something to do try and error, something we did before with the ollie, doing it in different variety.
It's creating an experience in the moment, and we're using that experience to then further teach them, right? Example, so we've got experiences in the moment, like on the snow. We've got experiences in day-to-day life, and we've got previous experiences snowboarding too. You know?
If we're going to the park, first we could put a stick, and you jump over that one. And if you want to make a box and make an ollie off the box, you put 2 sticks and 1 stick here. He goes through that one, jumps over that one. So
I got a question for you guys.
Easy, safe.
Just to wrap that up, because we're really tight on time, so I'm going to rein it back in occasionally. How often do you guys use snowballs when you're teaching beginners?
Would you guys put changing the environment into that as well?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're either seeking out a specific terrain feature or we're adapting the environment we have. So we've got an environmental one up there.
Speed check.
Yeah. Hey, what do you guys do when you're right into a jump to slow down?
Yeah. Quick break. Like you go full speed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sweet. Absolutely, yeah. Something they can do in snowboarding already. Now we're just going to change the environment and do it in the air. We'll see you at the bottom where we started, okay? Lots of snowboarding kind of thing. Hey, so real quickly, so we've given you a snapshot of one of our hard skills, aerial awareness, one of our soft skills, experiential and environmental teaching. This is how we bridge the gap. So we found at level 2, we've had a big analysis focus at level 2 for a long time. Analysis is a hard skill. The understanding of how the body affects the snowboard, right? A hard skill. We've always found that that's been very removed from our candidates' ability to teach. You know, they have really good technical understanding, but maybe they're not presenting it well. So we've included a new analysis portion, right? So verbal analysis on the snow, and it's a freestyle trick when we keep it easy. So we showed them a little video. I'm going to get you guys to have a look. Ladies.
So go over our fish pants on in the morning, yeah, like whether it's snow pants or whether it's tractor pants or something like that. So giving you that analogy, put your pants on.
Pull your knees up.
Put your knees up.
Knees up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Level 3. A hard skill for us at level 3 would be high performance carving. I'm sure you guys have quite a similar thing in your level 3s. We'll go and have a play with that. To achieve this, we need to see our candidates use a high performance stance. Alright, so level 2 we're looking for more of an active position like this. How that changes to level 3 when we're starting to get more performance is our hips start shifting back towards the back foot. We're flexing more through the back knee but staying active in the front knee and ankle. And our chest starts coming towards our front quad and opening at the same time. Your heel side turn, eh? Get your head on a swivel. We don't want to be taking other people out through the heel side. Cool. Some of the technical differences of this.
Yeah.
I don't think we should get into the discussion now because it's probably going to be a long discussion. So hey, that's a hard skill. We assess at level 3. We're going to set up a soft skill. Let me just slide down here. 2 interskis ago, 8 years ago, we presented this as called coach approach. It's evolved since then a little bit. Coach approach has become a lot bigger and something we use more in our coaching world. Question-based learning. All right. What question-based learning is? It's designed to help raise awareness in your students without just telling them, right? So closed questions having a one-word answer, open questions designed to create some dialogue. We've got scaling questions, probing questions, clarifying questions, and leading questions. Scaling questions is then designed to help you put something on a scale so the student can understand the extent of, say, a movement or a level of performance. B's, you're riding, A's, you're following. You're doing some high performance carving. Yeah, cool. A's need to ask B's 2 questions. The first has to be an open question to create dialogue. Second has to be a scaling question to help with, draw some awareness as to your partner's high performance carving. Okay? So we've got a hard skill at level 3, high performance carving. We've got a soft skill, question-based learning, which we need to see our candidates use little bits of, not massively, but just little bits. How we bridge the gap between the two. Our teach assessment at level 3 is based on a corrective teach, okay? So what that means is we set up the person being assessed, they go off to one side and we get the other candidates and we say, that helped you really identify what the problem was.
For me, once I'd established the terrain it was on, it was, so what do you feel happens? Like within the turn, what can you feel? Is there a blocking movement?
Cool, yes, we would call that a probing question. Yeah, we're going a little bit deeper into something. Digging in, a little bit of probing going on.
Yeah.
I probed you.
Questions about tension as well, like where I felt the tension.
Cool, yeah, right. So that
really
might be
good.
a clarifying question.
Yeah.
You know, so if you started with what's going on there and where do you feel tension, you think you are starting to build a picture, but you're asking a clarifying question to make sure you're on the right lines, all right? Does that make sense? I don't know. Hey, we're going to go try and catch up with the other groups and do a summary there. Just follow me around here with 1 foot. We're going to strap in with 2 feet and then we're going to go and find the little snake climb that we've been riding that's really fun to ride. You know, we have to, from this position, we can move so much more than we can from this position. So let's give it a go down here. Let's get a bit more of a high performance stance and let's try it with, you know, popping over the rollers, absorbing, quick turns, calf turns, and everything in between. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Should we mob it together, train?
Jump on the...
Really felt the need for a more high performance stance down there. Ways that you can bridge the gap and, you know, take those hard skills and those soft skills and start blending them together a little bit more as we grow into the future.
so much for making the time to visit Australia this afternoon. My name's Kylie. What I'm going to start off today is with sharing with you a typical Australian greeting. And say g'day. G'day. The first one being our centre of mass doesn't deviate too far away from the midline of the snowboard. It only moves far enough depending on the conditions that we're in, depending on the turn that we're doing, the speed that we're going, and the performance that we're looking for out of the snowboard. And the second thing I want you to notice when Adam comes riding down here is our upper body. And our upper body stays quite stable throughout our riding technique, and it's quite disciplined. So we're just looking for those two key characteristics at this stage.
Talking about staying stable over the top of our equipment, the first movement that we make to achieve our edge is just kind of a subtle rocking forward to set our place. Okay, so we're going to start with the toe of the tail, and you'll notice she sets her edge and flexes down and into the mountain through her knees and hips. And then you notice as she does that, her edge builds. Sweet. So you notice as Kylie sinks down, her edge starts to build a little bit, and it's building progressively and gently. Sweet. This, if you guys want to strap in 2 feet, we'll get one person to hold the board, and we'll kind of get you guys feeling out those movements, just so you can get a sense for the sensations. Go. So this position here is kind of as angulated as Kylie can be, and you can imagine if she hits that line, she's got a cranking edge, right? So from here, we've got kind of what we call line number 3, we got line number 2, and we've got line number 1. So that first movement remains the same, but if we want to achieve, say, a steered performance, a carved performance, or a pure carved performance, that's when we change where we sink to. Okay, then rock forward onto the edge, sink down to the first line, and you notice her edge doesn't build too much, kind of stays stable. Sweet. Kylie again can rock forward, set her edge, she sinks down to the second line, and you notice that edge builds a little bit more. Sweet, and then once again, flexing down, and lowest point, highest edge. Kind of a big focus here. We want to be able to absorb those forces. If we've used all of our vertical movements too early, down and backwards. So I say, all right, sit over here, and we start to build that carve. We want a pure carve, even further. So that diagonal line keeps going down and down, and that's kind of the focal point for how we build that edge.
Notice how that upper body is staying quite stable and how the mass is only moving as far as it needs to get that steered performance. Level 2 stage here with our instructors mostly is their ability to grasp this movement, to be really patient when they move to the edge, to set that edge, and then move down.
To move into the level 3 certification, we look at a task similar to this, but we dial the performance up a notch. So instead of a steered performance, we look for a carved performance. Start to build up a little bit more is muscular tension. So we find that a lot of our students tend to have a bit of a bias on one joint or one muscle, and they're quite tense as they do this task. In the middle, I want you to imagine a cannonball is about to be fired at your belly, as tense as you can. Guys on the right, let's imagine we're the Incredible Hulk from the hips down. Okay, and we're trying to tear out of our pants. So over-flexing those muscles as much as possible. Sweet. Any type of turn you like, let's just see how that affects your riding. Okay, we'll cruise down a little bit.
And that's what allows us to keep the mass over the working edge a little bit closer to the board so we don't get that slip out in those variable conditions. Okay, when the slope is clear, I invite you all to have a go.
Yeah, now.
Go! Right, we try to keep our hips still in line with the edge of the board. We engage our core and we separate just by turning our shoulders forward. Okay, so you notice the key distinction is my front leg doesn't straighten like that, or it doesn't extend a little more when you open your hips. It is this movement here. Okay? Yeah, so the hips are going to be still flexing in the same way, or flexing more towards kind of a high performance carve. But what we start to do with this separation is we actually build it throughout the turn. So when we look at the transition phase, we realign ourselves like this, And as the turn comes around to the completion, we continue to separate until we get to here. So at the top I'm in line, at the bottom I'm separated. Okay? And the benefit we find from that is that we can, again touching on the edging topic, we can start to use a little bit of shoulder angulation at the bottom of the turn to help us stay stacked over that board. So on the toe side, as we remain separated at the bottom, you can think about looking at the pitch straight across here. What I try to do is I try to match my shoulders to the pitch of the hill, like this. Okay? Similar to ski. Yeah, cool. So I come around to the heel side, same thing, I separate, and I try to match my shoulders to the pitch of the hill here. Okay? So those are kind of our fundamental movements, and that's kind of how it relates to the edging, which is what we've been talking about. Kylie, rip it. Let's see if we can see some of those movements in Kylie's riding.
Maybe in your own countries, maybe how you change movements on the snowboard to deal with icy conditions, cruddy conditions, and those variable conditions. I know we're probably out of time now, so if you'd like to chat with us about that, we'd love for you to hang around, and we'd love to share those ideas with you.
We're here till Friday.